Hello everyone, welcome back to my Q&A series called Azoh's Creed. This will be episode number 2, and this will be done 100% in one complete recording. So there will be no editing, no pauses, nothing, no preparation. Which is for better or for worse? Probably for worse, because I tend to mumble and be a bit incoherent, but this way you'll get my genuine response, and well, let's just see how it goes. If you have a question for me for next episode, you can just tweet it to me with the hashtag Azoh's Creed, and it's easier for me to find, and like you can tweet it whenever. But if I want questions, I'll just ask you on Twitter or on Facebook. Regardless, let's get to it. First question is from Hannah Jennings, and they ask, thoughts on Rumble mid? I play it pretty regularly, but everyone calls me a troll. Hashtag Azoh's Creed. In all honesty, considering Rumble builds the Leander's Torment and has pretty decent, like he's not a resource champion, I honestly think he can do pretty fine in mid lane. There is definitely a reason for him being top lane over mid lane, seeing as the ranged champions in mid lane probably can do pretty well in just poking him down, seeing as they might outrange his flamethrower range. Then again, I have not played much ranged versus Rumble. I have not played much Rumble, so I can't say for sure, but I will say for sure that you can definitely make it work. In most cases there is a better pick, but generally we don't play at that level. Like, everyone below Challenger doesn't play at that level that it really does matter. So if you want to play Rumble mid, dude, just go ahead, that's fine. Alright, next question, and next question is from Furiosity. How to balance school and league? I mean, how to climb fast while still having shitloads of school stuff to do. Well, you can just use a simple flowchart. Have I done all my homework? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then you don't play. If the answer is yes, then you play as much as you want. In all honesty, unless you're like a straight A student, I don't think you will be forced to sacrifice. Like, in general, it's just that there's a lot of time that we don't realize that we spend on Netflix, on like chilling, on like eating popcorn, on friggin' out and running, on hanging out with friends. And of course, like, it's important to have a life, and it's important to sleep as well. But when you actually look at how much time you spend on things, you realize that you do make a prioritization, and you subconsciously or not decide to not prioritize League, and therefore don't spend as much time on it. But honestly, I'm not I did pretty decent in school. I didn't do miraculously well, and I did not spend that much time on it. I spent enough time. I did decent. I got like average, slightly above average grades. And I'm pretty happy with that right now. But my yes to answer the question is to just, the best way to do it is to make up a schedule. And I'm not saying, like I said, it was kind of a joke with the flowchart, because the idea is you have a schedule, you follow the schedule. So when you get home from school, you can take like 15 minutes chill, then you actually friggin' do your homework. And it's so easy to just go on Twitch or go on Reddit and not do it, or just procrastinate. But the two things you can do that really helps is, first of all, listen in class. Listening in class will help you out so much more than you expect, and honestly, you're not doing anything better in class than listening. So listen in class to what the teacher is telling you, ask questions in class, and when you get home, stick to your schedule and you'll do fine. It's hard, but it can be done. Okay, I hope that answers that. Let's move on to next questions, which is from Amir Arzani. Did anyone criticize you, family, friends, for choosing to go pro for a year or instead of continuing your studies or work? I have not gone pro yet. Pretty unlikely that I will, but honestly, I must say that I have an immense amount of support from home. I think, of course, people are criticizing it because it's new and all that, but as long as you show that it's important to you, it's the same thing as, like, basketball or whatever it is you kids do these days. It's pretty much the same thing. So I mean, sure, if you go pro completely and skip studies and all that, yes, you'll have people criticizing you, but it's still family, and I think, well, I guess it varies from person to person. It's hard to say. Me personally, I did get criticism, yes, but in the end I think it's accepted, though still a bit frowned upon. And I guess that's how it's always going to be for us in the new generation. But, yeah, I hope that answers that. Let's move on to the next question, which is from, Senpai? What are you studying? I actually am not studying anything right now. I am working right now. I work as a technician at a ferry company, so I help out with computer problems and install shit and deliver shit and send shit and all that stuff. It's really good experience, and I mean, it's not bad. Getting your first job is really nice. It's really hard to get your first job, in my experience, so I'm really happy I was able to get this. But yeah, I hope that answers that. I'm not studying, I am working right now, so. Alright, this question is from Pavla Basher, and this was not an Azoh Creed question. This was a question I found on my YouTube page that I thought I wanted to add, and it's on the Yasuo montage, the project Yasuo montage. And he says it's been more than a month. Where is the montage? Now I think this is the best time to say it, okay? When I made the teaser, I was super pumped to make, because I have all the plays I need for the montage. But, right, these are really, really good plays, and I have all the plays I need. But the problem is, these plays were all done before the Summoner's Rift update. And then I made the edits, and I realized that, okay, guys, I'm not a great montage maker, I know that. Basically, the montages I have up until now, they're basically compilations of kills, and like with music timing. It's no like flashy camera angles, it's no effects, it's nothing like that. And I realized that I really wanted to try that once. So I have some really, really nice Yasuo plays, project Yasuo plays, but they're on the old Summoner's Rift, and they're recorded in 30 FPS, which means I can't record with new plays on top of that without making a huge contrast, and without making the video file basically have to be 30 FPS. It's not gonna be. I just got really demotivated because those were some really nice plays. Honestly, those plays in that montage were actually pretty good. But I decided to wait and just, for now, just play Yasuo when I can and try to get plays and just do it from scratch. That means it's going to take a lot more time than I'd actually wanted to. But honestly, I'd rather just not rush it and make it a good montage, because generally I don't like over-editing stuff. I really enjoy just having a very clear focus on the plays. Like my third Yasuo Z montage, I was actually really happy about that one, except for the fact that it was not recorded very well in terms of 30 FPS and with lags and all that shit. But in terms of the actual focus on the plays, generally that's what you're gonna see from me, because that's what I want to highlight. I want the plays to speak for themselves, not have effects for it. And that is not condemning people who do that. That Jellyfish and Senpai Buzzy and Dark Tonga and all those people, they're really, really good at what they do in that sense. Like, that's their thing and I do my thing. But to answer your question, it's gonna take a bit more time, quite a lot more time, because I don't play that much Yasuo anymore, because I realized I'm not a great Yasuo player and I kind of want to climb elo. So anyway, I hope that answers that. So thank you very much for the question. And next question is from Saleh Joan. Why am I always sad? I was born with a really shitty voice and it sounds like I'm always sad. That's it. Honestly, I have a really dry sense of humor, a really sarcastic and dry sense of humor, and kind of like messing around with it being salty and things like that. I've been pretty down lately, yes, that's true, but honestly, if you see me on stream and I'm like really have this really monotone voice and just making really dry remarks on like bad plays, or like bad plays on teammates, or myself playing bad, I'm just fucking around. Excuse the language, I'm really just messing around. It's how I am, and I hope you guys can accept that and just like get into it, because I don't think that's gonna change. My vocal cords are not gonna change. I'm gonna have this voice. Like if I really pressure my voice, I can sound really enthusiastic, but it's not my voice. This is my voice. This is generally how I sound, and by now I hope you guys get used to it. Okay, and the last question is from Papa Gasoline, also known as Fnassel. And he has two questions actually. What junglers do you prefer while playing Zed and solo queue, and is there any Zed matchup that would merit Hydra Rush? Junglers I prefer. I mean, I generally AP tanky junglers. Amumu is probably one of my favorite junglers in the game to have on my team. I really like having Zac and Sejuani as well. They can build, I mean, more Zac over Sejuani, because they can build AP and they're tanky and they have good early ganking presence. So I think probably Zac or Sejuani or Fiddle. I really like having Fiddle on my team as well. Or something like Vi for the early ganks or for the early pressure. And the fact that they can really lock up an AD carry, which means I don't even have to ult if they ult the AD carry. So something like that could work well. But honestly, as long as the jungler doesn't do terrible, it doesn't really matter that much for me. Sorry about my voice. It doesn't really matter that much for me. Is there any Zed matchup that would merit Hydra Rush? Honestly, there's no real matchup that I would say that you change to a Hydra. Unless you're doing Hydra for anything, which is like you prefer Hydra's playstyle, then sure. Otherwise, I mean, I could make up some bullshit argument that you'd like it versus a pushing champion, but in all honesty, not really. I don't see a matchup where I'd be like, for this matchup, I'm gonna take Hydra. No. Not really. I mean, the Bork just outshines Hydra so goddamn well. I'm sorry about the language. It really just outshines Hydra, in my opinion, early on, or like throughout the entire game. The build path, the everything. Ugh. If I could marry an item, I'd marry Bork. Okay, well, that was yeah, that was that. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you have any questions, just send them in to me at Twitter, which is my tag is at Azoh was taken, and if you want to send in a question, just hashtag Azoh's Creed, and I will link my Facebook down below. I can link my stream, I'll link my everything, you know it works. If you have any questions, just ask them there, or if you don't have Twitter, you can just ask in this video, and yeah. Regardless, this was really nice. I hope this worked out, because this was a long recording and I did it all in one go, which is not what I usually do. Okay, I'm ruining my own ending. Right, thank you guys very much for watching. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time. Peace.